Alright, how y'all doing today? The Holy Spirit has led me to speak on my testimony. Like, it's time for me to speak so I can really show the glory of God and how God has really had his hand on my life this entire time. Now, as I tell this, mind you, I'm telling you this to show you how lost I was. And for ones that's on a path of being lost and astray, they can relate to my story. I've been through so many struggles, so many battles. I do not look like what I've been through. First and foremost, that is the first clear sign that Jesus has had his hand on me this entire time. Now, since birth, I've been in spiritual warfare. This is no lie. As soon as I came out the womb, first thing my brother told my mom was, I don't like him, put him back. Started walking at 6 months old, my fault. So they already knew I was blessed in the family. When Gerber came and visited my mom, they tried to make me the face of Gerber. No lies is being told. They tried to make me the face of Gerber. My mom denied it. It's been a couple times that some recruit models came to try to use my face for whatever business and company that they had. Now, in the midst of this, like, growing up, it wasn't always easy. Now, at 4 years old, my grandpa passed away in my hands. That was like my best friend. You feel me? This is before I really came to know Jesus. So we're gonna fast forward after that. We're gonna say about 6 to 7 months later, I mess around and I fall on this stick, and it goes through my testicles into my intestines, right? So I had to get this crazy surgery. Now, during that surgery, that was my first encounter with Jesus. And when I came back from the surgery, because I had to get 40 stitches around my genitals. When I came back from my surgery, that's the first thing I told my mom, is that I saw God, right? So we're gonna fast forward a little bit further, because we stayed in this apartment in Columbus, Ohio, on Napoleon. That's the name of the street we stayed on. There was a lot of paranormal activity going on in the house that we were in, right? So we wind up moving, because I've always been having divine and supernatural experiences. So we wind up moving, and just my upbringing has always been a little different. I was the one that always got the short end of the stick. Like, my older brother and sister used to get all the nicest clothes. I would get treated the worst, like the black sheep, literally the black sheep of my family. And I would get the Payless shoes, they would get the Jordans, whatever the case may be. Whatever I asked for, my parents refused to get it for me. My dad said he hated me watching cartoons and playing video games. Me being a kid, I didn't care too much for clothes. I didn't care for too much. I didn't want for much. You know, I didn't want for nothing, for real. And to be honest, my dad sold drugs, my mom sold drugs, just to show you what type of background I came from. Because I didn't come from the greatest background. So, with that being said, my mom was with somebody that she met, and my stepdad was the one who taught me how to make money for myself. So at 8 years old, he taught me how to go shovel snow, rake leaves, cut grass, things to keep money in my pocket. So this is what I had to do as a kid. I wasn't the one fortunate enough to be able to get anything that I asked for. If I wanted it, I had to go out and get it. And my upbringing was so harsh. Like, my mom did everything in her power to keep me away from my dad. Hold on. Alright, sorry about that. I had to close them windows because they was being too loud outside. So, we're gonna fast forward. Now, as a kid, I was troublesome. But I didn't understand at the time because I couldn't identify what it was that I was dealing with. So, I was really dealing with a lot of trauma and depression at the time, and really didn't know what that was as a kid. Only because my mom was keeping me away from my father. And I didn't know that the effect that it was really having on my mental. So not only that, I got abused every day by my mom. Literally, like, she would spaz out on me about anything. I always was getting a whooping, bro. Or my brother and sister would tell on me, and they would get enjoyment. They would rejoice whenever I got in trouble. It's like they enjoy seeing me in pain or going through trouble. Like, this is how wicked they are. Not me, on the other hand. I never told on my brother and sister, no matter whatever happened, no matter what the case may be. So on top of the constant abuse, that it really wasn't my fault at the end of the day, because two people couldn't come to agree to disagree and be parents and put their differences aside and focus on what was important, which was me. But that's beside the point. This is just part of my testimony. So one summer, one year, this was back in this is actually back in the year 2000. Going into 2001, it's my 4th grade year. I find a pack of matches or whatever, and I'm playing with the matches in the bathroom. Now, there was a kid that I was cool with at the time. His name was Miguel. The reason why I'm explaining this is just to explain the abuse that I went through with the devil, who was working so hard through my own family to try to break me. So I didn't give the little boy some matches, right? So he went back and told on me and said that I was trying to catch the school on fire, when in all reality I was just lighting the matches and throwing them in the toilet. I had an infatuation with fire at the time. So not only did I wind up getting a whipping from my stepdad and a whipping from my mom, because my grandma really wasn't trying to put me on blast, but when the school called, it was all bad. So I kid you not, this is what my mom did. And at the time, I am 9 years old. And looking back on it, it was very evil. So she locked me in a room for 90 days, right? And told me I could only come out the room if it was time to eat or to take a bath, or if I had to use the bathroom. That was the only way I could come out the room. I couldn't watch no TV. I couldn't do nothing, right? That was for 90 days, bro. Looking back on it, I shouldn't have had to go through that. That was worse than prison. I've been through 23-1, and the 23-1 was better than what I experienced as a kid. So when I went to prison, not to prison, but when I went to jail, my fault, and I did 23-1, it was it wasn't nowhere near that. I had a little bit more freedom, right? So I made it through that, thank God. It didn't break me, because at the time as a kid, I didn't know no better. So I'm just thinking this is how life's supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? So looking back on it, it's pretty messed up what I had to experience. So fast forward 2 years later, no, in between time, in the meantime. So I had an experience with Jesus at the age of 9. Shortly thereafter. And he got to talking to me. I still don't remember what we talked about till this day, but I know that I made him a promise. And I feel like my soul is recognizing the promise that I made. And it's actually coming to pass now. Like I'm starting to fully surrender to Christ. So at 11 years old, I actually get baptized, right? So after I get baptized, like my whole mind changed. Things are set anew. Now what caused me to be so into the truth is because I got in trouble with this kid. Like, you know, Austin Powers, he got this thing called judo chop. Now I'm in the 6th grade, right? Austin Powers, he got this thing called judo chop, and it's not counting the fight. So like every year I would always get in a fight. I was always in fights. I stayed in constant trouble. I was a troubled child. They said I was destined for the penitentiary, right? But fast forward back to this. So after I got baptized, like everything about me started changing. Not saying I was perfect, but this is when I started reading the word. And I started off with Revelations. So Revelations, up until now, I'm 35 currently. I've been pretty much preparing for this all my life. But in between time and meantime, I have been in and out, right? So I'm getting in fights. I'm staying in trouble. I'm smoking weed now. 12 years old come around. I'm 12 years old now. I'm smoking weed. I'm dabbling in the streets. I'm breaking into homes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really like out there. But me not knowing, because I'm coming from this troubled background, right? I'm coming from this troubled environment. So we're gonna fast forward. I meet this girl in 6th grade. Her name is Mimi. That wind up being, that's still my childhood sweetheart, but we're not together no more. So we wind up being together from the age of 11 all the way till I was 21. But that's a whole nother story, because I was still on that walk, right? I was always still trying to do right. So we say about 14, 15, that's when stuff get real. So now I'm at the age to where, so before we get to that, so the last time my mom, this ain't the last time, but this was the last time for a while, that she tried to abuse me because some shoes that my sister said she didn't want anymore and said I could have them, right? So when I took them and gave them to a friend of mine, she went back and lied on me and got me in trouble. And my mom wound up punching on me like I was a dude off the street, right? It was messed up because I really didn't deserve it. Like the abuse that I got from my mom, I really didn't deserve. Like she's really the devil, but that's a whole nother story, bro. Because she used to tell me, like when she was a kid, she found this witchcraft book and how it used to glow and light up in the dark when she would read it at night. So this, me knowing this, I'm already knowing like my mom isn't all the way there, right? So we can fast forward to about me being 15. Now every year, now mind you, every year I'm getting into a fight because when I was 9 years old, I broke my arm, right? When I was 7 years old, I busted my chin on the ground wide open because I had the front tire flew off my bike, right? And I passed out, and I had to get like I had 18 stitches across my chin. And I broke my right arm because I got jumped by two boys, and when I fell back, I tried to catch myself, and that's how it broke. It broke all the way from the front all the way up to the growth plate on my arm. I got the dog bite. I got bit by a dog too on my arm still to this day. That way, you know, no lies is being told. Hold on, like it's right there where you can see that mark right here, and then it goes all the way down to my arm. So, like, the childhood was crazy for me. I went through more than what most adults have to even go through as a kid. So we're gonna fast forward to me being about 15. We moved to Grove City. I'm doing everything I can to sit here and trying to spend time with my dad. But my mom refuses to let me move with him, right? Because I had this experience. This was a couple years prior to this. So I'm on a bus. This was one summer. One fall. It wasn't even summer. One fall, I'm on my way to see my dad. This is how I knew I had an encounter with an angel. Because he told me to try to spend as much time with my father because he didn't have too much longer here. But was the kicker, this is what I knew I had an experience with an angel. He told me to wash my hands more. And only I would know something like that, right? And there was a couple other things that he said about me that nobody else could have possibly known. So it was this white dude with shaggy blonde hair, right? It was about all the way down to here. He had this blue jean jacket on and these faded blue jeans and these beat up brown boots. I'm sorry I was rudely interrupted. This is how the devil worked. So let me go back to him. So that was the experience I had with the angel, and he had these brown boots on. I remember this till this day. So fast forward, right? Everything is about to hit different when I explain this to you. So fast forward, I'm about 15. I spent the summer with my dad in 2006, right? We spent the summer together, and he telling me things about himself that I never knew, right? And I'm learning all these new things or whatever, and I'm interested, right? So we plan on spending the next summer together in 2007, the following year. So my birthday come around. Now, mind you, my dad was sick. When my mom was still pregnant with me, I got beat up real bad by the police, and he was in a coma for 8 months. So he wasn't even around during the pregnancy, and he didn't know about me till after he came out of a coma. And then right after that, he wound up having to get on disability. He wound up getting terminally ill with the diabetes and whatnot. And diabetes ran heavy in my family. I'm not going to talk about all the other deaths and stuff. I'm just going to talk about the main indicators, the main things in my story or whatever. So we get into it on my birthday because we were supposed to go out and go get tattoos together, go have us a time of the night, right? So me and him really wind up having words for each other. Now, prior to this, my grandma had just passed away, my mom's mom. She passed away in October. Now, it's November 26th. This is my birthday. Me and my dad get into it. All right, I don't want to talk to you. Blase, blase. So a month later, this is Christmas Day, my mom called me, and she like, did you call your dad for Christmas? Did you call and tell your dad Merry Christmas? I'm like, no, I don't want to talk to him because I was really hurt. But me looking back on it at the time, I didn't know how sick he was. And looking back on it, he just didn't want me to see him that sick. He didn't want me to see him that way. But at the time, I was unaware. And mind you, my mom, she played both sides. So she'd sit here and make him out to be the bad guy, and then sit here and try to push it like she cared if I spend time with him or whatever the case may be. But that wasn't the case. She was playing both sides. So because I'm going, whatever my mom put my dad through, I'm going through it right now with my baby moms. I'm going through the same exact thing that my dad went through. So now I know exactly what he was going through. So Christmas Day, I call, I didn't get no answer. I call my mom back because I'm with my little shorty at the time. This is Mimi. You feel me? Cause she's gonna be in the story because she was with me through half of my life. So I'm like, no, he didn't pick up. She like, did you at least leave a voicemail? And I was like, no. So I'm like, she like, call back because it's early in the morning. It's like 5 something in the morning. She like, call back and leave a voicemail at least. I'm like, okay. So I call back and leave a voicemail. Tell him I love him, Merry Christmas, whatever the case may be. Now, I didn't know what happened at the time, right? So I go on about my day after that. I called her back, let her know what it was, left the number that I was calling him from because I was at my ex's house at the time. And I went on about my day. I didn't hear back from him, so I figured he wasn't messing with me. So we're going to fast forward 5 months later. My brother runs into my cousin Emmanuel at Popeyes in Northern Lights. This is in Columbus. This is the north side. And my cousin was the one to relay the message to my brother that my dad had passed away. Now, he passed away. This is the kicker. He passed away on Christmas Day. The morning that I called him, he had already passed away. He passed away at 5 a.m. in the morning. I called him. It was like 5:30. I think it was like 5:32. Between 5:32 and 5:35. Don't quote me on that. So the irony of it all was just kind of like weird, and it just kind of hit me different. Now I'm not gonna lie, that put me in a different mindset. I remember I told you my grandma had just passed away, so within 7 months, that's 2 major figures in my life that I just lost, right? So my mind is just not there no more, and I'm getting in fights in school now. You know what I'm saying? I'm wilding out. Like we in Grove City now. I'm wilding out. I've gotten crazy fights. They thinking I'm the leader of a fight club and this, that, and the third. Because after I get suspended for a fight, girls start fighting, all the dudes start fighting, all kind of crazy stuff start popping off, right? So I come back and get another fight. Blase. Fast forward, I run into a homie of mine named Josh. Now him and my friend Isaiah and his little brother Dale is why I literally kind of just started smoking weed heavy. Because before that, I wasn't like, I was still trying to be a good person, you know. I was still trying to follow the laws of Christ. So at that time, I'm, young, highly impressionable mind, and naive at the time. I didn't really know no better. I did, but I didn't. You feel me? So like, I'm not trying to make no excuses. So I'm going from playing sports, because I was playing football. I've been athletic all my life. I've been playing football, track, baseball, flag football, basketball. Anything involving sports, I was a part of it. Boxing, all that. I didn't start boxing until I was 16, but that's another story. So I get to smoking weed, crazy. I'm selling weed now. That's even worse. I'm helping my mom sell weed. I'm sleeping with my best friend's mom at the time. I'm 17. I'm sleeping with his mom. He's unaware of what's going on. I'm carrying pistols. I'm doing the most, right? So fast forward, I'm 17. It's about the time I'm almost 18. So my mom was chasing this crackhead named Tommy. Now, 6 months prior to what I'm about to tell you, the U.S. Marshals ran into the crib looking for this dude. And I didn't give him up. Even though he had a $10,000 ransom, I didn't give him up. I said I hadn't seen him, right? Knowing good and well I had just seen that fool. And if I would have knew what he was going to do back then, I would have definitely turned this little corny butt in. But that's a whole nother story too. So I'm telling her, like, look, don't leave your job, because she at Walmart. She just became a manager or whatever. I'm like, don't leave your job. God blessing us right now. Because she told me I didn't have to go to work no more, or whatever the case may be. Because I always was doing something to keep some money in my pocket. Because I was helping my mom pay the bills at the time. So she leaves me behind, bro, like dead. It was crazy. So I'm 17. She left me all on my own, bro, to go chase this man. So I wound up moving my brother. That didn't last too long. I'm 17, about to be 18. That didn't last too long. I caught his baby mom cheating on him. I don't know what she told this man, but before I got the opportunity to let him know what was going on, this is how he did me. He did me so foul. He like, all right, bro, we gonna wash your clothes. I'm gonna cook you something to eat, cause he stayed in Breckenridge, just on the north side by Morse Road. So he like, all right, bro, I'm gonna cook you some food and wash your clothes. You gonna eat, and then we gonna play the game together. Blase, blase. Tell me why after we finish eating, he like, oh yeah, mom outside. You gotta go. So I'm like, what? For what? Right? Because I'm completely clueless. Because I'm waiting for his baby mom to leave the room so I can finally inform him that I caught her talking to other dudes on AOL and MSN Live, right? And Yahoo Mail. Like, I seen it all, right? So, and that's when all that was popping at the time with MySpace and all that, right? So he like, you gotta go. I'm like, word? So, and I ain't gonna lie, I was distraught. Like, that, it really broke my heart, because I didn't expect my brother to do me like that, especially over no female. So, he wound up kicking me out. My mom, she like, I don't know where I'm gonna take you, blase, blase. Now, my dad's sister, which is my Aunt Jackie, wound up coming through. But she did me grimy too, bro. So, mind you, this is right before my 18th birthday, so my 18th birthday come around, I'll celebrate that with my auntie. Because I'm still going to school and everything. I'm still trying to go back and forth to school because I was going to Focus Learning Academy. Because we left Grove City. Because like I said, my mom left me to go chase some man. So, I'm on the north side. The only person that was looking out for me. And looking back on it, she truly was a blessing. Like, yeah, we had our differences. But we're going to talk about Mimi again, because she was the one that was coming through for me and making sure that I was good, you know, giving me a couple dollars here and there, you know what I'm saying? That way I can get back and forth to school, have something to eat and whatnot, because my auntie, yeah, she let me move in with her, but she had a boyfriend, his name was Sonny, right? She left me in the crib, bro, with no heat, no food, yeah, we got the electricity, cold water. Now, mind you, my birthday is at the end of the year, so it starts to get cold, right? I'm not hearing from her. We celebrated my birthday together, and I hadn't seen her for weeks after that because she had left, right? And she was working at Popeyes and Northern Lights too, so I'm just sitting in the crib like, damn, what I'm gonna do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Mimi, she coming through, she looking out for me or whatever the case may be. God bless her soul. And I go to this church, right? And they give me some food and some snacks and stuff to munch on or whatever the case may be, because I would eat when I went to school and stuff. And I had this little space heater because it started getting really, really cold. So mind you, I'm in the crib with no electricity. I mean, not no electricity, but no gas, none of that, right? No food in there, none of that. So, and I'm 18 at the time. So, with that being said, it's just like 10 degrees outside. It's like negative. It's like getting down to negative 10. I'm feeling every bit. So I got this heater blowing in my face at night when I go to sleep, just to, you know what I'm saying, keep from getting sick or keep from freezing to death, you know. And thank God I made it through that situation. Now, my dad's ex-girlfriend named Melissa, she came through too, and she gave me a couple outfits. She took me shopping, bought me a couple outfits and stuff like that, made sure I was good. And God forgive me, because, you know, I left on her. I kind of ghosted her. But it wasn't like on some grimy stuff. It's because my auntie and my grandma was in my ear about her. And they like, we don't want you around her. Blase, blase. And like I said, at the time, I'm young. I'm naive. I'm trying to be loyal to the ones that I love. You know what I mean? And I loved her too. But I'm taking my family side over the person who already showed that they was for me versus the one that didn't show me that showed me she wasn't for me. Because granted, my grandma looked out for me. So that's a whole nother story. And shortly thereafter, I wound up moving with my friend Craig, because this was hard, bro. Like, I'm coming into the world, I didn't know what to do. I wound up moving with my friend Craig for a little bit, and his mom low-key, like, so I'm still trying to get myself together. Mind you, I wasn't working at the time or whatever. And I'm looking for a job. I'm still going to school, because you can go to Focus until you was 21. So in the midst of like that, I had stopped going to school for a while. Like, it was too hard for me to try to do all this at once. So fast forward, I'm staying with my homie. His mom started acting some type of way because I was hanging out with somebody she didn't want me hanging out with. So because she didn't want me hanging out with him, and bro, they ain't never did nothing, I just go over there and smoke some weed. You know, I never smoked weed in the house. I was very respectful. And she kicked me out too. Like, my whole life has been about people trying to control me. So she did me dirty too. So my mom wound up coming out or whatever, blase, blase. And then I had to figure it out from there. So then that's when my ex made me talk to her peoples for me, and they actually let me move in. Now during this time, no. I lied. I'm sorry. I'm moving my Aunt Janet. Now during this time, I had got a job at Pizza Hut for my birthday, and life is starting to turn around for me. Things are starting to look up, and I'm at Pizza Hut for almost 2 years. So I finally started to come up. I'm going back to school, but now I'm selling drugs or whatever the case may be, because it helped me come up. At the time, I didn't know no better, because before I even got the job, I started selling weed. So I'm like, I got to do something to get some money, because these books ain't gonna feed me, right? So that's what made the most sense to me at the time. Looking back on it, no, I could have just went legit, like G Herbo. But looking back on it, I didn't even tell y'all about the time I got shot at when I was 12. Dude started shooting at us when I was 12, but that's a whole nother story too. So we fast forwarding it. So I with my Aunt Janet, I'm paying her rent because my mom tried to come around and shit. My auntie didn't like. She wasn't fucking with my mom for real, because the shit that my mom was doing. Forgive me for my language. I'm sorry. So she wasn't messing with my mom because of the stuff my mom was doing. My mom was out here strung out on drugs. She was on crack with the dude she was chasing. She lied. She could lie and say she wasn't, but I'd have been in the streets. I know better. You feel what I'm saying? I done sold drugs. I know better. But who am I to judge? To each his own, right? But at the end of the day, stand in your truth. Because anything that you ashamed of doing, you know you ain't got no business doing. You feel what I'm saying? So, I'm staying with my aunt. I'm helping her. Blase, blase. So, I moved out of my aunt's house to go help my mom. Mind you, the same one that left me and did me dirty, she need my help. So, I go out to help my mom out or whatever. And before all of that happened, hold on, because I fast forward a little too much. I wound up moving in with my sister in Wedgwood. So we in the projects. I ran into my homie Keyshawn at the time. And my homies Brian and Jeff, they stayed on Hague. You know, they was selling weed, blase, blase, at the time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we doing the most. You feel me? And me and my dude Keyshawn, we boxing everybody in the projects. You feel me? They ain't know I had work like that. You feel me? So, my sister asked me, I'm leading up to how I got kicked out. So I'm showing you how hard the devil been working against me to keep me down. So one day my sister asked me, because this is the last day I was there before I moved to my auntie's house. My sister asked me to watch my nephew, right? And that's my nephew, that's my homie. So I'm like, yeah, I ain't got no problem. So she talking about he on punishment. I ain't hearing none of that. I let him play the game. Like, you ain't around, you asked me to watch him. I know this is gonna keep him settled down. So I'm in the hallway helping the kids out in the hallway fix their bikes or whatever, right? And her and her baby dad come home a little sooner than anticipated. So with that being said, they come in early, and my little nephew just so happened to be outside, and he trying to ask me how to get past this part on a game called Kingdom Hearts. And when he did that, that kind of got us caught up. So I'm like, oh, man. So after that, me and her wound up getting into it or whatever, and her baby dad called the police on me. And me, I had anger issues at the time. I wouldn't say I had anger issues per se. I just had a temper. And I know how to control that now. I'm well over that. At the time, I had a temper. But instead of punching my sister, right, because that wouldn't be the right thing to do, I punched the wall. So when I punched the wall, my hand went through one end of the wall and out the other end, and it created this big old crater in the wall like somebody threw a body through it. And her baby dad called the police on me. So when they came, my mom came, and my dude Ario had came upstairs. He like, hey, yo, Dom, bro, calm down, bro. He like, 12 outside. But back then, we didn't say 12. He was like, the boys outside. I'm like, all right. He like, damn, what's going on, bro? He like, bro, you sounded like a lion. Because you got to imagine, nobody ever seen me get out of character like that before. So, afterwards, I'm walking with my mom outside. This punk ass cop that get in my face. Bald headed, skinhead, man, forget my French. So, he like, stop. I'm like, no. He like, stop before I tase you. And I'm like, for what? He said, for getting lippy. Now I can honestly say this is the one time my mom actually stood up for me. So she jumped in front of me. She like, you're not finna tase my son. Blase, blase. Me not knowing, cause I'm mad at the time. She trying to come get me to calm down. We about to go smoke a blase, blase, whatever. I look behind me, bro. No exaggeration. There's 20 cops behind me, ready to kill me, bro. And I got helicopters flying all around. We in Wedgwood or whatever. So afterwards, she like, come on, let's go. This is just how the devil is working, bro. Like, why do y'all need 20 police officers for one person, bro? And not only that, I don't even have a history of violence, bro. So why is it 20 of y'all armed and ready for somebody that's unarmed, bro? And they kept saying, oh, it looked like he threw somebody through the wall. And my mom was like, he didn't throw nobody through the wall. They was like, then how did he do that? She was like, he punched the wall. So when they heard that, they really freaked out. They scared in the mug now. Because if you'd have seen the wall, it was big, bro. Like, it was at least 4 or 5 feet wide in diameter alone, bro. Like, it looked like somebody got thrown through the wall. So they freaking out. And then she like, come on, let's go, blase, blase. Because I didn't know there was that many cops behind me. Because I was about to punch on the cop. I knew how to put him to bed. Like, you gotta think, I punched I would have broke his face, bro. I done broke many of people's faces, but that's another story too. Because I'd have been in a lot of fights, you feel what I'm saying? But that's just how God been forging me through the fire. I'm truly a warrior of Christ, you feel what I'm saying? So like, alright, now at the time, I was on ecstasy, you know what I'm saying? Not that day though, but I was doing ecstasy, I was smoking weed. You know what I'm saying? I was doing the most, man. I'm in the projects. You know, I'm in the hood, man. I'm not living the greatest at the time. So then, I wound up moving with my Aunt Janet. And then I wound up getting a job at Pizza Hut. And that was for my birthday, right? So we back to that now. So I wound up getting a job at Pizza Hut. And I'm helping my auntie pay the bill. She helping me get on my feet. She let me and my ex move in, or whatever the case may be, because my ex had went against her peoples, and she left with me, right? So we staying with my auntie for a little bit, or whatever the case may be. Then I had my ex go back to her people's house, right? I'm helping my cousin Buggy out. You know, she pregnant with my nephew, my cousin Jakari at the time. She craving, so every night I come back from Pizza Hut, I make sure she has some wings and shit, you know, look out for her, you know, feel me? So, fast forward a few months later, my mom called and said she needs some help, right? And my auntie didn't really mess with my mom at the time, because my mom did me dirty, like I said, she was chasing that man. So now that things are starting to work in my favor, you know, God looking out for me, blessings is coming, whatever the case may be. Now she want a piece of it. And it's not that there's no shade on her. I'm just telling the truth. I'm all of this is the truth. So I have to tell the truth. I have to tell what happened. And it's not to throw no shade on nobody, but I gotta tell my life, you feel me? So she like, man, I don't think you should go back over there, cause my auntie used to call me Fatty Arbuckle. She's like, I don't think you should go over there, Fatty Arbuckle. I'm like, but that's my mom, I gotta help her. And this is how my mom is, this is how wicked she is. She